Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be looking for some nettles, because this is about the time of year now where they're getting mature enough that we can make cordage out of them. And I'm going to show you how I make cordage out of just nettles. Really simple, so all I need to do now is go off and find some. And here's what I'm after. You get several types of nettles. I personally find the ones with these sort of like reddish looking stems tend to have the strongest fibres in them. So down here, break it up. And then just fine. The whole nettle in one go. And that usually pulls off all the stingers as well. There's one stem. Try and go for the ones that are a bit more mature. Get broke off nice and clean. You don't want to take too many, you just want as many as you need. So that all depends on the amount of cordage you're planning on making. But you can see there straight away I've just pulled that back. And it's these fibres here we're going to be after. But I'll show you how to get them out a better way. Those three there will be plenty for what I want today, just to as a demonstration. So let's go and find a nice place to sit down and make some cordage. A lot of wood pigeon. So, found a nice little spot here. I think obviously somebody comes around here at some point. These have all been laid in some sort of large square, but anyway, I've got the nettle fibres. I've got 3 of these. Well, I haven't got the fibres yet. Got the stalks. It's 3. So what I've got to do now is separate the fibres, which I'll show you an easy way of doing that. Put that there. So I thought, to show that you can do this without using any tools, as like bought tools, I thought I'd show you. All I'm going to use, I'm just going to use this rock on this bit of this branch here. I'm just going to flatten this down. This is to just to separate the fibres. I'll do this one and I'll show you on a bit of a close-up. All the way down to the bottom. And that's, now you know, you can easily start to separate those fibres now. So that's that bit. Ooh, still a little bit of sting in there. Yeah, still some sting in that. Not too much. So split that open. Just run your back of your nail down it. Just fold that out. And then it's handy if you've got long thumbnails. Try not to cut mine too short. They do come in handy. Anyway. Ow. So if you get one part there, just sort of snap it and then raise it up a bit, and that happens. All the inner pith and then the outer fibres separate. So we don't need that. We don't need that. And there we have, that's the fibres now all separated out. So that's the first one. Two stalks of nettle have now got all these fibres, and at this point what you want to do is then just start to gently tease them apart. Try and keep as much length as possible. And as you get thinner, you'll find that they will start breaking off a bit. Told you there was a lot of wood pigeon. So we've now got quite a few fibres, various different lengths, and slightly different thicknesses. It's all good. Doesn't matter too much. You can weave them in. But so we've got, you know, a fair amount there. A few more smaller bits. But yeah, ideally what you'd do with this is you'd hang it up, let it dry off, and that way it'll shrink. The fibres will shrink, and then you would yeah, say like ideally you would dry these off. The fibres will shrink because they always shrink the most the first time, and then damp them down, and then actually start to make the cord. But you can, you know, if you haven't got that time, or you know you're out and about like this and you're in a really wet climate, or you know just the weather in general is wet and you really need it doing, you need some cordage. I'll show you how you do it even when it's wet, and it's the same process. what I'll do is I'll use this thicker piece here to show you. Might just break this off a little bit, just thin it out just a bit. That's it. I say, just get any bits that are like that. Just pull them off. There we go. So just get it roughly in half. And then just with your thumb and finger, just depending on what I like to do is start to twist. Try and get a twist going, and it's easier said than done to start with. But when you start getting there, it'll begin. But what it'll want to do, it'll just want to twist back. Unless it will stay in place. Yeah. And then do the same, but twist in the same direction with the other side. And then what you can do then, when you get a bit of a roll going on both the twists, just get your finger, and then depending on the material that you're wearing and how grippy it is, you can then start to twist them or roll them. And you want to get about the same sort of twist going on both strands. And then what happens is it'll begin to twist together. Still need some more twisting on that. And once you've got it going, it's a bit easier. Because they'll just, it'll want to twist. That's going to be really bright on my trousers. Something quite therapeutic about this as well. Just keep twisting. And you start to get that. And when the further you get down to the end, it'll get thinner. And that's when you want to then weave in other fibres. So I'll just carry on, we'll get down to here, and I'll show you how to twist in a new section. So after, you know, a good few more minutes, he flies, I'd say I've been at it about maybe 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes, and I've got that there all together. So a couple of feet cordage. You know, it's pretty, that's pretty strong, and that's when it's wet as well. If you were to dry this out before you start plaiting it, or twisting it should I say, then it's a lot stronger, and you don't get that, you won't have quite as much shrinking issue with it as well, because this is gonna, as this dries, the fibres will shrink, and this twist will open up and there'll be gaps in there. So it is better to dry the fibres, that's all I've got left, the fibres out first. So like I say, they shrink more the first time. You can just dampen them down a little bit, just makes it a little bit easy when you, especially if you're trying to roll it. Flies won't leave me alone today. But essentially, that's how you make cordage from nettle. You know, it's fairly easy, quite straightforward, very strong. You know, you could just keep on, like I showed you, just keep on twisting new fibres in. If you try and keep them as even as possible, as even thickness as possible, because this actually was a bit longer, so I've got that there as well. But yeah, I allowed it to get a little bit too thin there, and then I gave it a bit of a stress test, and it did snap. So I'll just put a knot in there, just to do that. That's the original length there. So we did have sort of all that together, so it was a good 3 and a bit feet. But you can use this, and you can use it as for a bowstring. It is that strong. Like I say, once it's, you know, once you've dried it out properly. But you know, you could quite easily say, let's just do it with this one. Put an overhand loop in there. On that end, tighten that down. Put that bit through there, and you've got a noose, you know, for a snare. So you know, I mean, this wouldn't, obviously this would not be your first choice for a snare material, although it does, you know, sort of holds a shape. Because there's nothing to say, you know, that an animal wouldn't be able to chew its way through that quite easily, like a rabbit, a hare, squirrel, and then it's escaped. But you know, if you got nothing else and you were desperate, you're in a survival situation, you know, there you go, you've got a snare line there that you've made. You know, that would take, to do that length there, that would take about 20 minutes to do. You know, you could easily knock that up in a few minutes, not a problem. If you've got more time on your hands, you know, if you spent a few hours knocking a few of those up, you know, you managed to get, you know, maybe 2-3 rabbits or something like that, or a hare. I'd keep you going for a few days, and then you could really sort of like practice, get a really good strong fibre going. If you could, you know, get this dried out properly, and you know, make yourself a bow, and you can then hunt as well. So anyway, that's making cordage from nettles. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Click like if you have. If this is the first time you've watched this video or any of my videos, click subscribe. There's a little bell that's next to on the subscribe button down here. If you click that as well, then you'll get an alert in your inbox to say new videos out. Because if you don't, you'll only get, like, every now and again you'll just get a notification, so you won't get to hear about every video that I put out. I put one out once a week. I don't know, sometimes some people have said, I've not heard, you know, I've not seen you put a video out for a while. They're out. It's just that if you press that button down there, then you'll get an alert for every time a video comes out. So yeah, big thank you to all my subscribers. Growing now at quite a nice little pace again. Things did quite enough. I think, you know, when the weather was really nice, obviously you guys were out and enjoying it, which is brilliant. You know, you're enjoying the weather. It's the best thing to do, you know, get out. You know, practice some of these things if you can. And just in general, just enjoy being out in the outdoors and in nature. That's what I do. So I like to spend as much time as I can out here. And my daughter has also recently got the bug. So yeah, anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, comment, liked on every other video I've done so far. So yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll be doing a camp out, but I've got another video coming out in a week or two, which will be on sort of like trekking in the hills and things to have with you, even if you're just going on a day hike, just in case. So that's one to watch out for. Yeah, I've got a couple of trip videos planned as well. They're a bit, I don't know on the timing yet, but anyway, I'm going to shut up. So anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.